Sup, bitches, and welcome to the Sassy Spiritual Bitches podcast. Actually, I wanted to go podcast because I feel like it's been a while since I did that one. What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's episode. Sorry to disappoint, but spoiler alert, it's just me this week. Kayla is a busy little beaver, and she's doing a lot of cool things. So it's just me this week. Figured it's better to put one out and entertain you guys and give you a little bit of info and inspo versus just skipping it, like you guys deserve some content. So here we are. It is just me and that's okay. So what's up? I was kind of like, what the fuck do I talk about? What? I don't know. I wish you guys could see what I'm doing with my hands right now. I don't know what's happening. So here's the deal. I was kind of racking my brains on what the fuck do I talk about? What the fuck do I even talk about? It's kind of like that every week, to be honest with you. Don't mind me, I'm sipping some coffee. So I was thinking, what's something that I could speak to you guys from the heart about? Because really, is there a point to speaking any other way than from the heart? So here's what came up. Let's talk about some of the pitfalls, I guess, or the changes that occur, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm really sweary today, you guys. I apologize. Jesus Christ, me and my sailor mouth. But here's the deal. Let's talk about some of the pitfalls or some of the changes or some of the things you may or may not expect when you start to really step into your own, start stepping into yourself and living authentically. Because as much as we like to believe that it doesn't, bitch, shit changes. Like, there's shifts all over the place, and there's, I don't know, man. There's some things to get used to. And I mean, let's be honest, things change because nothing stays the same forever. And that's okay. That's okay. But, it's sometimes hard to navigate a little bit, I guess, or it can be surprising and you never thought it would be. There's all sorts of stuff. So let's just chit chat because, it's what we do on this podcast. We chit, we chat. Okay, so, all right. Let's talk about a misconception. Okay, let's talk about some myths that when you really step into your own and you start living that authentic life, that you just, that's it. You've integrated and you have absolutely no want to put your tail between your legs and hightail it back to who you were. That's bullshit. Okay. Myth busted. Okay. You do want to like put your tail between your legs and run backwards and be like, this is hard. And the things that, triggered you before, guess what? They still pop up from time to time and you don't have it all figured out. Like this road that we're on, again, spoiler alert, you're never at your destination. So you better start enjoying the journey. Okay. So look, number one, you always, and for the first little while, like any sort of change, it is completely normal to want to revert back because it's easier. There, I said it. It's easier to be comfortable with who you were, even though you weren't happy. There it is. I'm going to lay it out. It's easy as comfortable. And you're used to it, right? Change is uncomfortable. That's how growth happens. I've said that probably 1,000,001 times on here so far. So it is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. Not gonna fucking lie to you. All right? So that's number one. but it's what you do with it, right? It's do you give up? Do you revert back and, accept defeat? You don't, because um there's another. Let's jump into the second part, right? Number 2 that nobody tells you is that it's sort of that new awareness that creeps in. It totally prevents you from being the old person. You've changed. You better fucking suck it up and accept it. I know that sounds kind of harsh and bitchy, but that's just life, okay? Once you take that step forward, even if you want to go back, even if you try to go back, it's not going to work out the same. You're a different person. You see things differently, okay? You see things differently. And I think that's one of the hardest things, because your perception of the world, your perception of yourself will be very different. And even though you want to be that same person, and, on paper it should be easy, you just go back to living your old life. No, because again, we're talking about the awareness, the perceptions, the shift just in how your mind works. It's not the same. So things you used to look at, maybe and see as entertaining, it's like it's almost like you don't have use for it anymore, because you've I hate to use these terms, leveled up or shifted gears. Like it's not you're above anybody or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that you yourself, again, are not the same person. So you're looking at things differently. You understand things differently. So even though, like I said, on paper, it should be easy, it is very, very much not, right? See, these all kind of blur together. So this also ties in with number 3, which living authentically can be very lonely. Okay? Because of this awareness and perception shift that we've been talking about, it's very hard to have conversations with, like, even some of the people that you're close to, right? Because they don't have that shift. They don't have that perception that you do. So normal conversations might not be as fulfilling, might not be what you're looking for, might seem very boring to you, might seem very superficial to you. It might just be like, why do I care? And it's not a bad thing. Okay. Now, because of this, relationships will change, because people are going to sense it off you, right? Because you've stepped into your authentic self. If you step back and you're interacting with these people, even though you're saying all the things that you used to say, it's going to come across as false. I hope I'm making sense here. I'm not quite sure how to convey what I'm trying to say here. Interest. Maybe that's the way. Interests change. The way you speak about certain topics. For example, here's an example. Let's say we're talking about work colleagues, and you go to work one day, and you go to the same like little water cooler and everyone's kind of gossiping about certain things and what did you do this weekend? Did you hear about so and so and blah blah blah, because you guys, that's how the world works. I don't think I've been in any job where there was no gossip. And if you're in one, that's fucking awesome. But there's always something, or there's bitching about policies, or always some kind of blah blah blah, right? And perhaps you just don't align with that anymore. It's like, oh my God, who cares what so and so did on the weekend? Like, who cares? And you just kind of disconnect from that. But everyone else at work is into this kind of culture. And there's like a disconnect there. Whereas even if you sit there and you listen to the gossip and all of that, your energy is telling a different story. But because we have this innate, and again, this goes back to like primal days of man, where you kind of relied on a tribe for survival, right? You don't want to be separated from the herd. Because deep down in our core memories as a human, we're like, ooh, if I'm left alone, there's a good chance I'll be, I'll die because I'll be eaten by an animal. Like that's kind of like ingrained in our DNA still a little bit. So there's this fear of disconnecting from the herd. So when we just do that, and again, we choose it, right? We choose because we want to be happier. We want to be more fulfilled. We want to live authentically. So we go ahead and do that. And then it's like, uh-oh, I'm out of line with everybody else. I'm alone. This is dangerous, and that kind of kicks in. And it takes a bit to squash that, to navigate that. Okay. Now, I don't know. I could do a whole podcast, and I'm working on a whole program strictly on the ego. Okay. Because it's actually your ego that's telling you you're in danger. You're in danger by stepping away. You're in danger by not engaging with these people. Like you're in danger. You could die. You're going to be alone forever. You're going to be, and all our insecurities and fears about that kind of bubble up to the surface, So the fact that it's very lonely being, stepping into your authentic self, and very, as gratifying as it is also very scary. And it is lonely. Because you don't have that same, even, like I said, even if you try to engage and you try to, join the herd, it's not going to work for you the same way. Your energy is telling a different story. Your perception is telling a different story. Your subconscious is not aligned to it anymore. So it's not going to work out for you, even though you try. Okay? So there you have it. It can be lonely. And relationships, let's be honest, relationships take a hit. This is one, I think, this is out of all of them, probably the hardest to deal with. When you step into alignment, when you really say, you know what, I'm going to choose to just live authentically and say fuck it to the rest. Because it is a choice, you guys. It is a choice. And it's always, until it becomes a habit, it's always a bunch of series of little choices to choose being authentic versus the easy path, right? So when you choose it, and I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom here. I'm just trying to be honest with you guys, because I think it's better to be prepared for certain things. Like these are things I wish people would have told me, you know? And again, maybe you could hear it till the cows come home, and until it happens, it won't click in. There's an option of that too. But forewarned is forearmed, as I like to say in a lot of my tarot readings for people. Okay? Forewarned is forearmed. You really start to see where people's loyalties lie. Okay? You really start to see where or who maybe is your true soul tribe, who is your soul family, you know, who is going to stick by you no matter what. Because the more authentic we come, the more we really start to set those hard boundaries, you know. And if you're someone like me who, when it came to certain friend groups or family, especially family, had no boundaries, it becomes very difficult, very, very difficult to set boundaries and have them be accepted. And what's the word I'm looking for here? It can be received poorly. Now, that's not to say that anybody who receives your boundaries poorly is a bad person, or, you know, they're going to all just disappear from your life. That's not what I'm saying. Because we also have to look at it the other way and give the benefit of the doubt. If you all of a sudden up and like change the game on people, there's going to be a certain level of surprise and a certain level of like, what the fuck, on their end too. So let's be really sympathetic towards that. Doesn't mean we change our boundaries. Nope. We keep them, but we can be, you know, compassionate to the people who like, oh, wait, you up and changed the game. They need to find new rules here, you know? One of my favorite quotes is, and it totally went out the window. I have it on my Instagram somewhere. Something about walls keep people out, but boundaries show people where the door is, or something along those lines. Anyway, check my Instagram, Authentic Truth Within. It's there somewhere. But that's just a perfect analogy, right? If we don't want to be in the same position all the time, we need to set those boundaries. We need to, you know, show people where the door is and when are you welcome, and, you know, when do you need time alone, and all of these things. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. Now, there is a bit of, like I said, a transition period where people do kind of have to relearn the rules and navigate these boundaries that you've set, and you have to do the same, you know, because you might set them, and then it's going to be hard, and people are going to be upset, and then the guilt creeps in, and you kind of want to waver and drop it, and it's like, no, that's not going to help anything either. That teaches a different lesson, which we'll get into maybe in a later podcast. I don't know if we'll have time for it today. But where was I going with this? Oh, yes. The relationship thing. There will be a certain transition period where people need to relearn, and that's fine. But you might get some people, friends, families, acquaintances, coworkers, partners, whatever, that do not accept it. And they treat you not very nicely. That tells the story. And as much as we might not want to let certain people go, you have to. And it may be that you're very surprised by who you have to let go. So I want you to be prepared for that. It doesn't mean that anybody's a bad person. It just means that there's a fork in the road and you're each going separate ways. But you're going to see where people's loyalties lie. And you're going to see how people's egos drive the relationship. Not the love, not the soul, but the fear and the ego. And it's disheartening. But again, that ties into the perceptions and the awareness. You're going to see where people make their decisions from and why they make certain decisions. And it's frustrating, where you're just going to be like, whoa, like if you just were to shift this slight perception, you'd see this differently. You might understand me better. You might, we could keep going and growing together, but we can't force somebody else's free will. And the more that we try to shrink ourselves down or, bend our boundaries or do all these things for others, the more we hurt ourselves in the long run. Another thing is, I guess we'll say it, number 4, is you feel crazy doing this sometimes, okay? You do. You feel crazy. You feel crazy and you feel incredibly guilty. Now, because of this, and because the ego gets in the way, and again, I talk about this, I'm developing a program kind of talking about all of this stuff. And we touch on it a bit in the one I have running now, the Badass Transformation. We start to have a conversation around this topic about the ego and how it makes us feel crazy. And even though we're being more authentic, we almost feel, it's almost like this weird, you get this weird sort of almost imposter syndrome, because you're kind of like, well, I've never been this person before fully. Like there's been snippets of this person who comes forward, but I've never, fully done it. And I've never, done this. And like, who am I to think that I can just be this person that I want to be all the time? Like, who am I to think that? Like, that's not what I've been taught. So there is this bit of like, am I nuts? Am I not? Who the fuck is this person? You know what I mean? And it can trip you up a little bit because, again, that little ego comes in and they're like, yeah, who are you? Who are you? It's safer if you just go back and don't ever try to change and grow because that's dangerous. It's better to be safe than sorry. Like that whole narrative creeps up. And doubt. It is okay when you step forward to doubt yourself. In fact, it's normal. You should. I know that sounds kind of controversial. You should doubt yourself. But it's more of the doubt kind of tells you, okay, what do I need to look at? There's some shadow work. There's some ego work here that I need to look at, that I need to navigate. Maybe there's a limiting belief or a piece of conditioning that, is really preventing me from moving forward in the way that I want. Maybe it's just fear. And you guys say it with me. I've said it a million times on here too. And I say it to my coaching clients all the time. What is fear? It is false evidence appearing real. It's a story. We make it up. We're actually fearful of nothing. We're scared of possibilities, So if you were to break down what fear actually is, it's kind of ridiculous, really, because it doesn't actually exist, But again, it in its way, it's keeping us safe, right? It's keeping us on edge, which, I mean, good, but that's not something to live by. Fear is good as an indicator of, oh, hey, there's an uncomfortable here. It's a good way. It's the language of the ego, really. Fear is the language of the ego. And it keeps us, it can keep us really, really fucking stuck. And it takes a lot to step forward. It takes a lot to bypass that. It takes a lot to want to cross that line. Past the fear into the love. Like it's a hard transition. So naturally there is doubt. But doubt tells us where this fear is. And when we know where the fear is, then we can flip the meaning of it. Instead of false evidence appearing real, we flip it to fight ego and rise. Rise above, move through. I think I prefer that term, if I'm being honest, than I like rise because it's a beautiful imagery, rising above, but really you're pushing through, right? We're not, in a sense, yes, we are ascending, we are leveling up, we are doing all the things, but we're pushing through. We are persevering. We are saying to the world, you know what? It doesn't matter what gets thrown at me. I am me. I am going to continue to be me. I am not going to hold these societal conditioning. I am not going to hold this whatever the fuck it is that I'm feeling right now. Because being me and doing all the things how I want to, on my own terms, with my own boundaries, is more to me than this fear. So this is where the empowerment comes in. This is where that transition happens. This is where we start to see the fruits of our labor. Okay? And number 5, it is so fucking worth it. So fucking worth it. Yeah, so that's something else that we don't get told, is your risk is worth the reward. Okay? If you can push through, if you can decide, you know what? Fuck it. No matter what. I want to be me. I want to be fulfilled. I want to be happy. I want to live life on my own terms. I mean, society says, hey, that's a risky business. No. Danger. If you can push through all that and you just say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to be me. I don't need this. I don't need to be told who I am, what I should buy, what should I look like, And you just start living. It's so, it's unbelievable. It's fucking freedom, you guys. It's just, it's this beautiful, peaceful place to be. It's gorgeous. It's like lightning in a bottle. You've got to this place where you have freed yourself from all the expectation. You freed yourself from all of that baggage that you didn't fucking need. That wasn't yours. It wasn't yours. And I don't even know how to convey the importance of all of it. The importance of learning who the fuck you are and what truly drives you. What truly drives you. And allowing that to come forth and allowing that to speak in your actions, in your words, and just shooting from the hip. The honesty that comes through, not only with others, but with yourself. So many, so many of us, we don't even know what we like. We don't even know what we like. We know what we're told to like. We know what we're told to do. We know what we're told to say. We're told what is appropriate. But how many of us really know what we like? And on that terms, why do we even like them? You know? Yeah, there's this weird little rabbit hole you get to go down. And you kind of get to go down, when you start living authentically, you start to go down these little rabbit holes. But it's like finding the conspiracy theories of your own life. You know, you just kind of dig. And you uncover so fucking much. It's just like things that you never would have been on your radar before. Things you never, unless you looked at it, never would have fucking understood about yourself and where it comes from. Okay? It would have been like, wait, what? Wait, that came from that moment when I was like 2, and, you know, I was told this one thing and it kind of ingrained in me, and, you know, I made it mean this certain thing, you know, and that's been running my life this whole time. What the fuck? I'm 40, you know? And it's this, and again, it's how you choose to look at it. You could be like, oh my God, I wasted fucking 38 years on this stupid belief that I had when I was 2. Or we can flip that and be like, holy shit, it took me this long to learn this, but how cool is it that I did learn it? I needed to learn it at this time. I needed to integrate this lesson at this time, you know, because I needed to be who I was today in order to understand it. You know, there's different ways, again, and I teach this to my clients all the time. And it's all about shifting that perception and shifting that way of looking at things, and, you know, flipping that mindset from, you know, that language of ego, that fear, to the language of soul, which is love. Right? We want to always have that nice flip, you know. But again, law of duality, you need one to create the other. It's that reflection, right? Again, there's so much more to this, you guys, and I could go on and on. But the truth is, there has to be, how do I put this? There's a certain amount of onus on ourselves. You know, no one can change us but us. No one can accept certain things but us. You know, if there's something you don't like about yourself, change it. You know, don't make excuses for it. Don't say, oh, it's because of X, Y, and Z. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to tell you right now, that is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. Okay? I need you guys to understand that, sure, there are things beyond our control, but how we react to them is 100% on yourself. How you choose to show up for things, or how you choose to just accept it because you think, fuck it, whatever, that's just how it is, nothing I can do about it. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. You want to change your life? Then fucking change it. This is the part where you start to see the side of me where I get a little bit harsh with people. Okay. But people need it. Okay. If you ever work with me, I will support you. I will cheer you on, but I will not let you sit in victim mode and ego. I will snap you the fuck out of it. Okay. And that's what you're seeing this side of me. I feel like all of a sudden I'm like, listen, bitches, but listen, bitches, because you need to hear this, right? We need to understand that we play a bigger part in our misery than we let ourselves believe. Honestly. Nobody holds you back but you. So let's talk about this for a second. I want you to think and stop for a minute and really journal about this if you need to. You know, what really is in your way? What's in your way of living authentically? You know, if you're unfulfilled, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like, oh my God, I have to act a certain way in all of these different situations and it's exhausting, I'd start asking yourself some hard questions here. Okay. Why you feel the need to be certain way in a bunch of different situations. Okay. That's called putting on masks. Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red fucking flag. Okay. If you feel the need to be a different person in a bunch of different scenarios, you're not living authentically. Sorry. Spoiler alert. Okay. It's exhausting. And I get it because I have been there. Okay. I have been there. And that is okay. You know, don't be hard on yourself here. Just change it. And yes, it's that simple. It's as simple as a choice. All right. That's another myth we're busting is it's like you can't change who you are. Bullshit. And yes, it's that simple. It's just a matter of choice. We have so much choice in this world. You know, we do. We have so much choice. And think about it. Go to a fucking restaurant or a drive-through, even ordering coffee. You have so many fucking options. It's overwhelming. So with all of these choices, how do you even know what you want? Because you're like, I don't know. And we have been conditioned not to listen to our gut, not to listen to our body. Okay. Step 1. We need to silence the outside noise. Silence the outside noise. Okay. It has no place in your life. Yeah. See, this is now we're starting down a whole different road. But you know what? If you want more of this, then check out my website. You know, everybody's a little bit different. But there's always that baseline. Okay, the how to. Okay, well, great. I want to live authentically. Great. Made that decision. Fuck yeah. Now what? Yeah, well, now what? You know, if you don't know, that's okay. That is okay. If you're like, I want to live authentically, but I don't know who the fuck I am. How do I even start? That is okay. Just the fact that you understand that you want to and that you aren't right now, I'm clapping for you. That in itself is a huge moment. It's fucking massive. Okay. It is I mean, give yourself a hug for me, because that is so, just that decision, that choice, and that awareness. I mean, it's incredible. You've just stepped through a door and made a decision that most people don't have the guts to do. Like, just that decision. Seriously. Seriously. Hug yourself. Jump up and down and fucking party, because that commitment right there, that you want to find out who you are, is more than most people are willing to do for themselves. You don't realize it. You just broke conditioning there. That was a choice to put yourself first. So congratulations. Seriously, congratulations. That's fucking amazing. Jump up and down. Seriously, party. I'm getting all emotional over here. Getting all teary. But seriously, okay? I want you to start celebrating these little successes. Even if they seem menial to you, even if you're like, well, what? I just said I wanted to do this. That's huge. Fucking celebrate it. I mean it. Okay? I fucking mean it. The more little successes like this that you start to see, the more will come. Right? Fuck. Badass. Like, well done. I'm very excited for you, you know. So even though, I mean, realistically, you guys, stop it. We pretty much sat here this whole podcast and just told you about all the reasons why it's fucking hard to do this thing. And here you're at the end going, yeah, I want to. Yay. Like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for you. I feel the vibes. I feel like that. Do you guys energetically feel this as you're sitting here? Because I know you guys listen to this and you feel everything in the heart space. Like, I am just feeling so fucking proud of you guys right now. Like, right from the heart chakra, just fucking vibes pumping out. So I hope you're feeling that. Anyway, you guys, like I said, I could keep talking about, you know, the self-improvement. I can keep talking about the ego. I could keep talking about transformation and how to do it till the cows come home. But then you'd be stuck listening to me forever. So we'll just do it in small little increments, right? Baby steps. Anyway, so I mean, I kind of went on some tangents there, and I realized that. But I did give you kind of like the 5 myths and pitfalls of what happens when you start living authentically. And man, if that doesn't deter you, then fuck yeah. You know, that's fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Look at you saying yes to you. Congratulations. You can say that like 1,000,001 times. Okay, so let's leave it here. If you guys want information, more information on all this, head to my website. You know, you guys, it's always in the little, oh, fuck, what do you call it? Is it description? Is it show notes? I don't know. I don't know. That's me not understanding tech and social media. Whatever. It is what it fucking is. But I do thank you for joining me this week, even though Kayla wasn't here, which was sad. But join us next week. The playful banter shall be back. We'll be talking about more fun, spiritual kind of topics to increase your life. Ooh, that doesn't sound correct. To improve your life, to expand on your horizons, or just to fucking have some fun with your girlfriends. Right, bitches? Do you feel me? Yeah, thanks for joining me, you guys. Like I said, Kayla should be back next week and things will be back to normal. But I want to thank you again so much for joining me, for putting up with me for however long this is. Fuck, I don't know. At least probably a good 40 minutes. So props to you. Thank you so much. If you guys want to join us on Patreon, go ahead there. Join us on social media. All the links and shit will be down below. Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's anything I forgot to tell you. I don't think so. But thanks so much, you guys. Go live your best lives this week. Let me know how it turns out in the comments on social media. I fucking love you guys, and we'll talk next week. Bye.